crimp. I will crimp wires with washer-like terminals, like this one, uh, to the pins of the transistors, and after that I will attach those terminals, those washer terminals, with bolts onto these common bus bars. And I want to keep the wires as short as possible and avoid this kind of mess. I will never ever design anything like this in my life, ever. Worst choice I could have ever made. There will be two power modules for each coil of the transformer that will drive it in push-pull configuration, and the 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 oscillator board and the MOSFET drivers board is here. I had sockets for the old MOSFET drivers. I have ordered new MOSFET drivers, and I have built a new, like a piggyback board uh, with new components, and I have attached it to the old board with the oscillator. This is the SG3525A oscillator. These are the wires for the potentiometers. This one is for pulse width. This one is for frequency, and this one is a rocker switch with four stable positions, and it will shift to the frequency band. I will have multiple frequency bands. This is 220 nanofarad capacitor. These ones are the same capacitor, have the same capacitance as this one, only they are tied in parallel, and these ones have smaller capacitance also in parallel. So I will have a total of four capacitance steps, just like a capacitance decade box, so that it will enable me to have a wider range of frequencies at which the inverter will run at. Well, that's about it for now. I will start building it and continue filming as I go along. Thank you. Hello. I thought it's time for another video. I want to show you how to crimp fastening terminals for the MOSFETs, in order that you extend a bit the legs of the MOSFET and fasten them with nuts and bolts to a common bus bar. As you can see, these are kind of stiff because I wanted them to be so, but you can also make them more flexible if you want. I left the colored isolation on them because I had in mind to let the terminals and cables let them be a bit loose, but after that I thought that if they will be loose and this terminal will move back and forth, after a while they will break. So I thought then, okay, it's time to redesign and leave the terminals as they are, stiff as they are on the MOSFET. So let me show you how to do this. As you can see, I have bent two of the terminals of the MOSFET so I can reach better with the crimping plier from the sides. So I advise you to do so, but be careful, don't bend them many times, back and forth, because they will eventually break and you can kiss your MOSFET goodbye. So let me see. We have a wire. And we have a crimping terminal, tubular-like shape. It has a tubular-like shape, and now I have to strip this wire from its isolation, and then wait, let me strip it. Okay, all done. And now, as you can see, it unravels, but to prevent this from happening, you have to twist it. So I have twisted the strands of the wire, and now I have to insert it into this tubular-like crimping terminal. I have inserted it all the way through, and now I have to insert it on the MOSFET pin. Okay, as you can see, it's inserted. It won't go any further. This is the maximum depth at which I can fit it. And now I have to prepare my crimping plier and then crimp the terminal. As you can see, the sideways bending of the MOSFET's pin now easily grants me access to the crimping terminal and into the pliers vise. Okay, wait just a second, let me position this into the crimping plier. Okay, after all is in place, after you have everything correctly set, you can apply pressure on the crimping pliers handle, and voila. Now the terminal and the MOSFET will remain stuck into the pliers vise, but you can easily convince it outside with a cutting plier like this, taking care not to cut the freshly crimped terminal. Okay, now it's time to crimp another terminal on the existing crimped terminal on the MOSFET's pin. As you can see, I have a bag full of crimping terminals. Santa really came to me and brought me some presents this year. And now what you have to do is position the crimping terminal into the jaws of the crimping plier, and then slightly slightly approach the jaws so that the terminal sits there nice and easy and doesn't fall off or anything. Then uh, take your MOSFET pin and place it into the crimping terminal. Make sure inspect everything visually and make sure the distance. I'm sorry. Wait just a second. Inspect everything visually and make sure the distance at which you crimp the terminal is okay for you in order for the terminal to remain either fixed or be a little mobile, a little bit flexible. Now all you have to do is apply pressure on the pliers handle and it will be crimped. Like this. Well, I didn't crimp it quite well. I have to bend this a bit to be parallel with the MOSFET's bottom line. And you will end up with something like this. And you will have uh, gate, drain and source. And now you can fasten these terminals to a common bus bar. Well, to actually 3 common bus bars. 1 common bus bar for the gate, 1 for the drain and 1 for the source. And afterwards tie up to the common bus bars the wires coming from the MOSFET driver. Okay, that's about it. Next video will be coming up soon. Thank you.